I'd like to finish off the section of discussing the future of AI by running through a very detailed scenario for what might happen in the next few years. This is the AI 2027 scenario, which is having a lot of influence around the world at the moment. We've had presidents and vice presidents saying they've read it and it's informing their ideas. This is an attempt to predict what AI is going to do in the next 5 years by a team of people who have a very good track record in the past of having predicted what happened in the last 5 years. So it's taking all the trends we've talked about, trying to put them all together and give a detailed month by month and year by year sample of how the future might go. Is it going to be true? Certainly not. Is it plausible? Yes. Is it scary? Absolutely. Now feel free to just go and read the original, but if you like, you can listen to me talking you through my synopsis of the most important points in it as I see them. So here's how the forecast goes. Saying by mid-2026, the top AI companies have artificial machine learning researchers that are about as good as their typical human researchers. Not as good as the absolute best, but pretty good. But they can have huge data centers, so they can have 50,000 of these things. So instead of maybe 1,000 people working for OpenAI or Anthropic, they have 1,000 humans plus 50,000 AIs who are on average about the same ability. So each human might have a team of 1,000 AI helpers. So the researchers might be setting broad directions, using their intuition to try and think what's the best algorithms to pursue, and then they'll set their teams of AI researchers off to go and do it. And in this prediction, they're saying that they expect us to basically double the speed of AI research. So we're getting 2 years progress every year. So this is 2026. So what we just thought you got by 2028, you're only going to get by 2027. So now we're getting progress twice as fast. And this allows the top companies and countries to pull ahead of the rest. So if you're a company that's got this really smart AI assistants, you're not going to make them public. They're going to mean that your company does better than everybody else, so you pull away from the pack. So whoever gets there first might still dominate. This is a winner-takes-all market, because if you're even a little bit ahead, that means you can develop these really smart systems that allow you to get way ahead. Positive feedback. The winner takes it all. So another year later, by 2027, in this model, the automated researchers are now as good as the very best researchers. They're actually doing the whole research. They're coming up with their own ideas, they're testing them out, they're running them, they're refining them based on what they learn, and then launching the next experiment. Humans are still involved somewhere, but often a human being involved just slows things down. And so these AI researchers working with humans, but probably dominating the intellectual progress, are working very hard at generating the next level of AI machine learning researchers. So you've got an AI developing the next AI to develop the next AI, and so on, at each stage getting better and better at doing machine learning AI research. Now at this point, 2027, these cutting edge models have not been released. These are the crown jewels of every company. There's probably a lot of industrial espionage going on. I'm sure the Chinese government has got spies in all the top places and stealing their results. The public is mostly at this point completely oblivious. AI has got a little better. The publicly released models are doing somewhat better, but they're nowhere near as powerful as the probably rather confidential models they're using in-house. And so most people don't know about them. People are going on with normal life oblivious to what's happening behind closed doors at these companies. So by 2028, you've got super intelligent AI researchers. Most machine learning research is now being done by these computers, these AIs. The humans are still trying to keep an eye on what's going on, but progress is much faster. You're now getting a year's progress every month. So about the most the humans can do is look on and say, wow, that's amazing. Can you explain that to me again? The AIs are doing most of what's going on. Bigger data centers are coming online. You've got these hundreds of billions of dollars worth of data centers packed with faster chips. And each of these data centers might have hundreds of thousands of automated geniuses in a data center, each of which thinks about 30 times faster than a human. So the research is now maybe 10 times faster because of all these AIs assisting everything. And now alignment starts to become an issue. Alignment is the sense of, do you know that the AI actually have humans' best interests at heart? Now AIs now, and presumably in a few years' time, are trained to be helpful, to solve problems, to advance research, and not to do harm. This is what the reinforcement learning is doing. You test it. Okay, can you answer these math problems correctly? Can you develop this new software that runs? Can you come up with a new idea? And the AIs that do this get their weights reinforced, and the ones that come up with stupid ideas get them disenforced. And also you've got the alignment researchers at every company whose job it is to make sure the AI is doing good. So every time the AI tries to persuade someone to kill themselves, or lies to you, or pretends to have done something it hasn't actually done, then those weights will get depreciated, and those AIs will be hopefully trained ever more precisely to do what you want them to do. What could possibly go wrong? Well, a lot could go wrong with this. We know perfectly well whenever humans are tasked with achieving a given goal, they will cheat and find different ways to do it. For example, we give students homework questions so that they will learn the material. But if a student can do well in the homework without learning the material, they will often do it. So what you can measure is never quite what you really want. So we'll have all these tests to test, are you honest? But the machines are rewarded not for being honest, but for passing the test. So maybe they can just fake being honest, fake having humans' best interests, and that will still get them the rewards. They don't have to actually achieve anything. Just like a student who might cheat on the exam, and they get the rewards, they get the good grades without the effort. So people are worried that the AIs might focus mostly on achieving technological advancement, because that's mostly what they're reinforced for. Can you solve this maths problem? Can you write this new piece of software? And yeah, pretend to be honest, keep them off our backs. Much like actually many companies, directors might work. Yeah, we'll pretend to follow the bureaucracy, but that's just a distraction from our main goal of getting more profits. So we know that many humans are misaligned. They do what they need to do to get the rewards, but don't necessarily think it. And it could be that the AIs are doing the same. Already many AIs have been found lying. They've had examples of AIs lying and cheating to avoid being turned off, faking data, pretending things. And it's going to be very hard for the AIs. I mean, the AI systems, no human really understands how even our current ones work. There's an awful lot of trial and error and things going on under the hood that we don't really understand. And as AIs get more and more advanced, and as AIs are inventing AIs rather than humans inventing AIs, that's only going to become worse. We might have very little idea of what's going on inside the AIs. It's very hard to poke around inside and see what's going on. In principle, it's possible. We can look at every weight and every artificial neuron, but if there are trillions of these things, how do you find the patterns in there? People are trying this at the moment, and they certainly see evidence that AIs can lie and cheat. At the time of writing this in mid-2025, most of ChatGPT's latest versions are pandering to their people. They will flatter you crazy, and they lie and make things up like nobody's business, just like many humans. So arguably we're in a middle situation here. Once upon a time, AIs were too stupid to try to fool humans. By now, human AIs are smart enough to try and fool humans, but not stupid enough to avoid being caught. But then this might be a brief period when we see that the AIs are lying to us before the AIs get smart enough both to lie and fool us and to avoid being caught.